All right, y'all. So I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit more. Me and Eve talk, but it's like a couple of texts a year, and then we good. Yeah, she busy. I'm a globe trotter. You know what I mean? But she
Right,
always checks in. I always check in.
right.
And during those texts, she would tell me like her people surrounding her is just awesome, man. So, um, could you give any examples of those people that are being shining examples of Black excellence for you?
Wow, there's so many. So I'm gonna start off first with my classmates. It's crazy because I actually hit it off with a group of Black girls and like we connected like that. So essentially I was in the library one day and the library was packed and one of them asked to sit with me and I was like, okay, great, no problem. And it literally was like we were so close after that. And then it was like always the Black girls always wanted to go to the library at the same time. So we just all ended up sitting at the same table, right? Again, the library is always packed, especially the one at Rutgers. Like there's not that many places for students to sit and study, especially when you have like public health, you have the dental school, you have a lot of
Right.
other students there. And so those girls became like my study partners, my traveling partners, like literally like my lifelong friends. And those people I genuinely appreciate because I really don't think that I would have made it this far without them. Their notes, their that them letting me use them as practice for like learning physical exam skills and things like that. And then outside of that, just like my friends and my family, I have like a group of riders that I have been super close with since Montclair, and it's crazy to think that like I met a lot of these people 10 plus years ago. And it's like, we're still thick as thieves. You know what I mean? We still go on vacation together. We still ask about each other's moms and dads. And you know what I mean? Like you still want to get invited to the cookout. So it's like, it's nice that I have all those, resources and just people to uplift me when my day is just hectic and crazy.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Um, so I have this other question, like, what's the difference between a resident and an attending?
Okay. So a resident is essentially someone that has graduated medical school, but is considered a doctor, but is still essentially practicing or like learning all the tips and tricks in the specialty that they choose, right? So medical school again is very comprehensive, right? You need to know a little bit about everything because most people don't decide what they want to do until like their third year. So your residency, it's literally specific to your specialty that you're choosing, and you are still considered a doctor. But the resident has to report to an attending. The attending is like the head honcho of that department, that team, that service, and essentially is the one that everyone responds to. So they have to sign off on all the treatment and notes and things like that. And essentially, they're overseeing the residents and the medical students that are around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Broke it down, Grey's Anatomy, Eve's Anatomy in this one. Okay.
Right.
All right. So as we work it towards more of the present, are you leaning towards any specialty practice? You already talked about the population that you fell in love with, so I know who you want to work with. But
Right.
is there any specialty you see yourself providing
Um,
once you graduate?
So not completely sure, which is crazy because it's like I need to pick like now. Um, it's like I don't want to do surgery. I'm not interested in like neurology. Um, I'm not really interested in like family medicine, which is like like your everyday physician.
Hmm.
Um, I kind of liked ped psychiatry, which is like I only got to see a glimpse of that. That's like one of those rare things that I feel like they don't have like as much in this area.
Hmm.
I love labor and delivery, right? The pregnant women, wow, beautiful beings. Like I love that. But like again, like if you want to do certain things, it's like you have to understand that your residency is going to encompass all other aspects, right? So it's like let's say for psychiatry, would have to do things like in the ED or like what we call crisis, like patients that are like either severely agitated or like of danger to themselves or like other people. It's like those are the things that I would have to endure, right? Essentially through my residency until I like subspecialize. So it's like even though I may like ped psych, I may like OB, I like the emergency room. It's like all these things have, you know what I mean, the good and the bad. So it's like I haven't really decided what I want to, invest the next few years of my life doing, before I become the head honcho.
Yeah.